And the ball will be given over for a free throw. 2 of those, in fact.
And that was a foul on 62. York make a substitution here. It will be number 34 checking out for number 0.
That's Ajidagba coming on.
Shooting guard. So it'll be good to get a few more shots up for York. I think that's really what's worked well for them so far. They haven't been able to work it inside yet, but they have been able to pull up from the arc, from outside.
And Lancaster's change of free throw as well here has now resulted in their first free throw conversion of the day. I believe we have some York fans in the house, but their pressure is not going to do anything as to a converted. We're tied up here in the first quarter, 6-all.
And I think Lancaster have switched their matchup on Ryan. Ryan so far with all the points for York, and they've now put number 7, who looks like a bit of more of an active defender, on the perimeter.
Absolutely.
It's a good cut from... And one. Really, really nice inside there. Opportunity for a 3-point play from York.
Strong work, 2 points on the board from Ajidagba, who weaves his way through the Lancaster defence.
He's certainly making an impact off that bench. Hopefully it'll be an opportunity for him to get on the score sheet as well from his free throws.
Get a chance to put some more points on the board here with free throws.
Just one. Nothing but the backboard. So if the ball does not touch the rim on the free throw, it's automatically the opponent's ball. Fun fact for you there, Matthew.
Well, there you go, mate. Every day's a school day, isn't it, Ruben?
Here is number 7 pushing the ball up with the hezzy.
That's a
Looks to go
strong
inside.
drive.
3-pointer just off the inside of the rim.
Well taken by Arciaga now for York, looking to push forward with Ryan Akome now.
He needs to watch that backcourt violate. That's really, really nice play.
That was very nice.
Dishes it out. And nothing but air.
Wellman's got to watch that contact. His defence, while he's been making himself really big, has been quite difficult to get a hang of, as Lancasters will not be able to find a way through.
Yeah, that full court press is really, really working well for Lancaster. It feels like they could just not really letting him get anything, and that's why Ryan here has come deep to receive the ball, rather than letting their number 4 take the ball up.
Certainly one to watch throughout the rest of the match. Here he is now, Ryan Akome. He's driven himself all the way through, and he's going to net another 2 for York. That was a lovely little drive.
Really, really nice floater there again. Obviously, number 7 switched onto him, but it's not a good first impression. Here is number 27 inside. Dishes it out. Good fake. 16.
Oh, bounces
Just
off the
the
rim.
backboard. Number 27 with a really nice offensive rebound and a travel called there. So it seemed like he just about lifted that pivot foot. I think it was his left foot. I mean, the travel was called.
I think it was a nice little drive, actually, to open up the space for the three-pointer, but in the end, it wouldn't matter. Travel was called. Obviously, it's 5 steps you can take after the ball, isn't it?
2.
2. I swear I've seen NBA players take 5 anyway.
Oh, well. LeBron, Le Travel. Taking his 5 steps. Good kill.
Trying to find a way into the box. That buzzer is very loud.
Oh, no, it certainly is. It certainly is. And, yep, it's a Lancaster ball from the sideline. It feels like York, obviously winning 10-6 here, but the full court press, they really need an alternative. I think they need to set some early screens, some deep screens, allow their ball handlers to really get on the ball rather than have to pass early.
Absolutely, Lancaster's screen game seems to be playing a little bit better. I love it when they're just opening up the space for the opportunities for the threes. But Lancaster now looking to do a York's tactic of driving straight down the middle. They net another 2. 10-8 to York. Here early on in the match. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first quarter. As Arciaga looks to open up some space for York. Home now.
Ryan
shot at some point.
Dishes it out to number 14, who looks for number 4 with the fake. Good pass. Unlucky there from 0.
Oh, and it's wide open for Lancaster. And that's the easiest layup you'll see all day, I believe, Ruben.
It certainly is. It certainly is. A really, really nice fast break there. Yeah, the moment that turnover happens, you really, really have to get up the court in games like this because it's the easiest buckets you can get.
And an important bucket at that as well. It's all tied up here, up towards the end of the first quarter. 10 all here. Minute 54 left on the clock. We can pull up for a foul.
And here is Kai Wilson checking into the game. A great shooting guard. Also plays for Langwith. Ooh, and the backcourt violation here called. Despite the Lancaster man actually getting on the... Ah, no, it's a foul.
Yeah, that would explain it.
Oh, no, it is a backcourt violation. There we go. That makes sense. Sort of, I think.
Rules of some of these sports can be very confusing.
Well, I just think the ball crossed the line, and obviously if the York man then touches it, it's a backcourt violation, but it felt like the Lancaster man was actually through on the fast break.
Oh, my.
Really, really nice three-pointer there from Lancaster. That's not something we've seen so far from them, really working it outside well.
For the first time in this match, Lancaster will take the lead. York trying to tie something up, 1.5 minutes left in the quarter.
And York almost answering with a three of their own from number 14.
Difficult angle up down your mid-blow, but now it's Lancaster looking for another layup. Can't quite find it. Will the rebound go in? Yes, it will. Lancaster 15, York 10.
And it feels like the difference between Lancaster and York right now is the defense. Lancaster really pushing up on that full court press. Well, I say that. Commentators curse, they haven't done it then. Here is Kai, looking to go inside. Dishes it out, and it's a... It's a foul on Lancaster, I think, for a push as Kai was looking to release that ball for the pass. Interesting to have Ryan on the rebound here, but he makes a cut. Number 14 looks to drive inside, big body in the paint, but nothing on that layup. It's such hard technique to be able to go inside on that angle and just find the backboard for the bank shot.
It's a lot of funky footwork as soon as you get under the net. Anywhere around there and making sure that you put the ball not only into the net, but if it misses the net, that you've got a man there to take the ball for you and win it back. It's
And the referee's having a quick discussion here about the conduct of the game. I don't think there's any technical fouls or any bad language here. I think we're okay. Just discussing who actually drew the foul.
I believe they're retaking the...
Ah, there we go. They were discussing where the inbound is from.
Yeah, there we go.
York trying to get free here. There's 0. Let's go around.
Ajagba looking for the 3 points. He's going to go long over there. Lancaster get the rebound, and it's one of those quick Lancaster.
And a carry there. So that is where the ball goes on top of the hand, and there's a carry motion on your dribble. It's quite a niche rule, not called too often, but there it was, the carry.
LeBron's going to be done it.
Oh no, LeBron has certainly done it. LeBron's a prime carry.
Le Travel.
Le Travel.
How many times are we going to say Le Travel live on air?
Le Travel. Le Roses.
The Roses.
Kai looking to go inside. He's got a switch. Dishes it out to Ryan. And the ball is just about out of play. Bear in mind, for basketball, it's not the ball, it's the feet of the person in control of the ball. So even if the ball didn't go out of play, the ball can still be out of play. One of the great rules of basketball.
Lots of different rules of basketball that I am learning about now. I just call it basketball.
Good drive inside, draws the foul.
Your Mancunian accent is infectious. I call it basketball.
Basketball.
Basketball, please.
14 seconds left in this first quarter. I must say, both teams drawing 4 team fouls. So I believe when they get to 5, they'll be in foul trouble, meaning that any foul on the court, even if it's not on the shot, will be leading to 3 throws. However, this does reset at halftime. So they're going to have a long second quarter for both teams if they do manage to get into foul trouble. So something to watch out for.
Definitely. Pressure coming on the second free throw. The first one hit the rim, and so does the second. York win the rebound.
Oh, great steal there from Lancaster again. That Lancaster defense is really, really pulling through. And a foul there as Lancaster were bringing the ball up. Here they come down the court. 5, 3, 2, 1. Needs to go straight back up.
Got the shot away, but that will close out the first quarter as it does not go in. Lancaster 15, York 10 here in the men's second basketball.
Yep, a really, really good game. Actually, he was fouled on that last play of the quarter, so he'll be able to take his 3 throws alone here, as that was the last play. So 2 free throws here for number 27, just as the teams talk out how the first quarter went.
Number 3 throw on the rim. He'll have another go.
He's got a lot of opportunities at the line here, number 27. Really, really playing well to draw those free throws. He just needs to start converting them.
The only Lancaster conversion so far has, of course, come from a different player. But nonetheless, 27 opens his account for the morning.
Yep, great from number 27 there. Just working his way inside. And it felt like there was a real lack of size in the York team at that moment in time. I think they had taken off number 29, who was probably their biggest player. So it was really, really difficult to deal with number 27 from Lancaster just going inside, doing whatever he wanted, really, and finding his shot and drawing those free throws.
No, absolutely. What I've found really interesting is that when Lancaster are on the attack, they are excellent at opening up space and the opportunities for the shots at 3. Lancaster have obviously not found as many threes as they would have liked so far. 16 points Lancaster, York have 10 points. Fairly low scoring affair for the first quarter. Nonetheless, Lancaster opening up the opportunities for the long shots to come out. They're creating the space, they're providing the screens, and it's working out quite well for them, as it's showing in the score, 16-10.
And the referee blows their whistle now, calling both teams back onto the floor. It seems to be a very, very intensive talk there from the York basketball team. I mean, I think Ryan has 6 out of 10 of their points. They really need to find another consistent scorer to go ahead, another method of scoring. That's what you're always looking for, Matty. A method, a tried and tested method that you can go for and resort to every single time to get you an efficient way of scoring.
Precisely. The York tactic so far has sort of been, as the lights start to dim in the area, we've got some atmospheric lighting here in the sports hall too. And making it easier to see, actually. Nonetheless, York's drive forward, get onto the net, set up a layup, try and get the wee rebound.
Exactly.
The tactic so far, maybe they should try something else. A bit of screening play, trying to open up space for their wing players. I
definitely think a screen would be very, very wise here going into the second quarter. And the ball out of bounds there from Lancaster. I think York also needs to improve on their defense, as we were just shown then. Good defensive play there from York, forcing the turnover. Number 24 brings it up. I think it's his first minutes.
Yes, that's Pokius playing. I think Pokius. Yes. Apologies if I've got your name wrong. Well done now. Out of ball. It'll be a Lancaster ball. Lancaster playing from right to left. Score is 16-10. We've just started the second quarter, about 19 seconds in. Lancaster on attack. And 10. Trying to find an opportunity for a long shot. He's going to pass the ball in the middle. Number 18. He's gone for the layup, and he's got it. Another 2 on the board for Lancaster. York will look to retaliate. Here's Zabane. Can't find an open man so far. He might have to take this one himself. He's being shielded incredibly. Focus now. Back to Zabane. Can they find the layout, or can they find a shot in time? No, they cannot.
I think a travel possibly called.
Word from the referee.
It's very important there. After the ball goes out, if a foul is called, you do need to give the ball back to the referee. It's something that they're very, very keen on.
It's an American sports rule in general, I believe.
Yeah.
I know that in American football, whenever the ball is reset, the ball has to be given to a referee before the next play can happen. Lancaster will find another 2 points here. And another 2 shots and a free throw. It's starting to look like the game's opening up a bit for Lancaster in the second quarter.
It certainly is. I mean, they've really, really taken advantage of the slightly smaller team that York put out here. Despite number 29 being on, it feels like the moment they can get a switch on him for one of their bigger inside scorers, it feels like an easy bucket for Lancaster right now.
It does, and Lancaster drawing a lot of fouls from inside the D, which is causing a few issues now that they're getting their free throws locked on. Maybe a little pressure at the Roses derby. The fixture obviously taking place on one of the biggest weekends as an ambitious attempt at 3 from York goes wide. Lancaster looks to counter.
flight travel, 15's in space. 19, back of the court, goes wide. 3 points attempted, 3 points miss. Rebounds are slapped away from by Lancaster into the hands of Pocus. Looking to open up the play for York.
Yeah, I think York just need to ride this period of the game. Oh, it's a really, really nice bucket from Kai there, actually. A really, really nice floater. Banks it in, and he seems ecstatic to get his first points on the board here. However, he's not picked up his man. Bit of confusion here in the York defense. Allows a free drive. Kick out to number 19. Foot on the line there, so it would have gone for 2. Didn't make it.
It's that risky counter-attack from Lancaster the whole time. Whenever York are in the back, they need to get back. They need to find that defense.
And Steph really has changed the game there. On the fast break, still going for that 3-point attempt rather than the 2. After all, 3 is bigger than 2. Really
Realist
nice
analysis.
inside play, and the foul there for number 34. I think that's really, really what is needed from York here. Just aggressive drive, get inside, draw the foul. And I will note that team fouls have been reset at the end of the quarter. I don't know if that's European basketball, American basketball. I think that's more European FIBA to change, reset that at the end of the quarter. But I mean, which makes sense. We are in European territory.
Absolutely. Sharman now. He's going to have 2 goes from the line.
And speaking of European, Charmanel representing, bearing the number 34 jersey, matching that of Giannis Antetokounmpo. So I wonder if there's some sort of inspiration maybe in that.
Not bad, maybe. Although I believe York might have preferred to have Antetokounmpo on, I think I said that right, on their team taking the free throws. Lancaster.
Well,
very quick to get up the other end of the
I must say, Giannis's free throws are famously quite bad.
I think still probably better than
No,
university
I think-
sport.
And the referee just making sure all 5 players are on the court for both teams. Obviously, it's actually a technical foul to have any less or any more than 5 players on the court at a time. It's interesting, any less than 5 players at a time, unless you've your whole bench and one has managed to be ejected, is actually a technical foul. Offensive foul here. Seemed like a push called maybe on number 29. So
There's
off
foul
ball
on 34
foul.
there.
Foul on 34. So yeah, off ball foul. Obviously no pushing. On your screen, you have to set your feet. You can't simply just walk next to someone screening them for the rest of the game. Point guard there calling the shots. Ooh, that looked like a defensive foul. Number 4 on number 9. Watch that matchup there. Seems to get a little bit feisty.
Ryder Comey passes it on to Zabane. He's got to try and use the width of the court.
Good screen there. Frees up number 17. 34, nothing but the side of the rim. Number 10 bringing the ball up. Number 9 off the handoff. 4 with some good attentive defense.
I love the way that Lancaster are working the space at the moment. They found the space to make the drive. Layup is just over the net.
And a timeout called here by York, obviously to talk things through. 21-12. We went into the second quarter at 20-10. So they have caved in the lead by 1 point. Making progress.
Making a progress as, yes, I'm loving the way Lancaster are working the ball, especially on the offense. Defense, it's working well for them. York, they really need to be finding their feet a little on the attack. I'd also like to point out at this time that the scoreboard here has the Lancaster score, the the quarter that we're in, and the York score, and it currently reads from left to right 2-1-2-1-2.
Oh, great, yeah.
I thought I'd just point that out because that's very satisfying. Not quite as satisfying as Lancaster's passing play on the offense.
Oh, well, it really has been smooth. It really has been.
It's been very slick, and York's drive it down the middle tactics.
Yeah.
We saw a bit of movement from York though on the offense.
One thing I must really, really point out to is York's Team Talk deliverer was one of the men's first team players yesterday. So shout out to him for sticking around despite the loss yesterday and helping out the men's second team. Obviously, really, really good to see that commitment to Roses.
We were just speaking in my preamble. My my brief preamble before the match, we were speaking about the pressure that you can find when you've lost the Roses overall. What will that affect to your mentality? Lancaster now looking for 2 points, going to be off the backboard and the rim.
Good defense there from number 99.
That is. And a penalty for, well, foul goes the way of York. That is a shooting guard.
Yeah, it feels like the York team is so guard heavy here. Obviously, the shooting guards and the point guards traditionally being the smaller players on the court with the job of handling the ball, and in terms of shooting guard, also obviously shooting the ball.
We say the smaller players. These are basketball players at the end of the day. Notoriously very long, very vertical.
Yes, there was certainly. I was made to look very small when interviewing one of the basketball players after the men's first games yesterday. Number 99 here with the turnover and a fast break and a really easy conversion there. Unlucky for number 99.
Yeah, and it's once again Lancaster spotting the opportunity to sprint down the other end. And they will capitalise. 23-12 up here at home.
Ooh, and Ryan, he was hot at the start of the first quarter, but it feels like he hasn't been able to get the ball in his hands quite as much and get a few shots up. Good drive inside, and the reverse layup just wide. Number 14 with a nice defensive rebound.
Wanakome here for York. Now trying to look forwards. Artiaga holding the ball. Spots an open man in Okome. And now the shot is going to take it off of the rim. Wellburn couldn't quite find the bucket. Now Lancaster's attack. Once again, a darting run.
A lovely drive, drawing the foul there. See, when I used to play basketball, in my heyday, in my prime days.
Your prime.
Yep. I think the top advice from any sort of coach that you'd speak to is just be aggressive on your drives and you will draw a foul.
Absolutely. It's the sort of desperation from defence.
Exactly.
When you see someone barreling at you, you want to do something to sort it. And of course, that can lead to sloppy mistakes like we've seen from here that's given Lancaster an opportunity at 2 throws from the line.
But of course, that's no use if you can't convert from the line. Very smooth here. Very smooth. It's a really nice free throw form there.
Saw what you're trying to do there. Gets another go here. Can he make it 25 for Lancaster? No.
Just a tiny bit long, but a good offensive rebound from number 19. And just wide. It's 24-12 to Lancaster here in the York versus Lancaster. Oh, York versus Lancaster men's second. Number 4 here, going for the full court press. He really wants it. You can tell when the defender wants it from that clap. Number 9 passes it up. Inside. Oh, really nice offensive rebound there from number 17. Dished it straight to number 9, and a really good finish off the contact.
That was a really good. I believe we've seen threes. I believe that was the best worked.
Oh yeah, certainly was.
Best
The court
worked
awareness
score we've seen.
from number 17 was spectacular. And a foul there on the drive from number 4. That's one of the benefits of being a smaller player, really. You can get inside and draw, hopefully, more fouls. Because to the referee, it looks a little bit worse when you're a bit small and it's a huge guy coming and fouling you. So that was one of the things that was complained about recently in the NBA. Centers were saying that they don't get the turn of the whistle from the referees, as they expect more fouls to be given to them. And they say it just looks like they're fouling people a lot worse because of how big they are.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really smart play when you are a small player, and obviously, looking at the players we have here, it's a great variation in height. I mean, we have Artiago, number 4, who's on the shorter end of things, who has drawn the foul. Now gets to go at free throw as the Lancaster audience here putting the pressure on that will not impact him. 1 out of 2 so far, and then on the other end, you've got people like Akome and Wellburn, who have height on their size. They're a lot bigger and obviously a lot more suited to contending those rebounds, contending those bounces, as the second will also net. York starting to claw some points back. Still in a 12-point deficit. Lancaster 26, York 14. Here with 3 minutes and... Ooh, where was that? That was a voice break and a half. 3 minutes and 50 on the clock here in the second quarter. Lancaster on the counter-attack from the free throw. Straight looping over Kenny Mibwa. He's going to find Fong. Fong to it. Artiaga. Artiaga driving down the left-hand side of the field. He's going to slow things up a bit, trying to work the ball around and draw that foul.
Good. Yeah.
There it is once again. He's really weaveling away into the defense.
Really, really nice there. Obviously, the moment you feel the contact inside the paint, you just have to put that shot up just to sort of say to the referees, give me that foul. Give me that foul. Because obviously, if you don't put the shot up, you can actually just get a baseline ball rather than your free throws, which is a lot less valuable.
And of course, York slightly lacking in the shots department throughout the second quarter. The first one will hit the rim. Some taunts from the Lancaster crowd, and I think that's to be expected when it's a big derby such as Roses.
Oh, some of the abuse that Lancaster crowd were throwing at the York players yesterday during the men's second was honestly quite funny, but also not condoned by us here at URY and YCB.
Of course. Some of the chants going back and forth were absolutely incredible at the
Oh,
bars.
pull up three.
Finds the rim instead, and Lancaster, one of their famous counter-attacks. Fong can't quite get to number 9, but good counter there from Kenya Mibwa. Stop the Lancasters, I want to say, notorious counter-attack at this point in the game. 2 quarters in, and it's their main method of scoring.
They're certainly bringing the pace there from the fast breaks.
Oh!
A 3 from deep from Santiago, number 4.
That was absolute artwork from Artiaga.
Artiaga, sorry. I heard you say it.
Yeah. And Lancaster's
good screen inside. Nothing but air. Keeps the ball in. Really, really nice work there on the offensive end to grab that rebound. Ball goes up. No communication from York. Allows number 9 to drive again. And that is pure hustle play from Lancaster. York, honestly, really need to get their heads together in terms of those defensive rebounds. They both had a hand on the ball. Both just fought against each other for the rebounds. You have to give a shout.
Poor communication with Kenya Mibwa and well.
Nice there from number 4. Goes inside. A really, really nice basket there. Number 4 being able to just turn around, get that shot up, pass his defender. Artiaga, really, really nice.
Strong work from Artiaga, bringing in the main haul of York's points this afternoon. Well played from him. Ambitious 3 attempts from number 14 from Lancaster. I believe in the NBA 2K world, that is known as a green bean.
A green bean. You can say that again, Matty. That is a green bean.
That was simply fantastic. But Artiaga's almost a shame.
Ooh, Artiaga drives inside. He's been the main go-to man.
Tries to get the shot up.
Pump fake. Ryan steps back. Nothing but air there for Ryan. And it feels like the main contributor for York has really switched from Ryan to Artiaga in this second quarter as he asked for... Oh, no, he doesn't ask for a sub. He stays on. He's been the main bucket getter for them so far.
Absolutely. It's, again, that small little darting player. He's so quick on his feet, and he's pushing himself right up into the D, trying to find the layups. And if he can't find the layups, he's finding the fouls. And just when I thought his ability was limited to being able to drive straight into the Lancaster defense, he then just nets the wildest 3 I've seen all day until the Lancaster 3 that followed, which honestly, that's one of the best shots I've seen in a basketball. It was miles out. It wasn't even on the edge. It was miles away. Artiaga now pushing up once again for York. Can't draw the foul this time.
Number 14 dishes it out. Number 18 lowers that ball, looks to drive. Kai there, just gets faked out. Oh, in and out. And finally, York managed to get a hand on a defensive rebound. They want to push the ball up quick here. Artiaga, there's 33 seconds left on the shot clock, so going to need to get a shot up first. Unlucky there from Kai. Just can't quite control the ball. And they're calling for the shot clock.
Another ambitious attempt from Lancaster as well. Now looking for the rebound.
Lancaster can hold it. They don't need to go up, but they have. And now York with 14 seconds, 13, 12. I won't do your full countdown, don't you worry. 8 seconds here.
Arciaga now playing it.
He looks up. He pulls up. Nothing but the rim. And that is the end of the first half here at the men's second basketball.
It's been, I was going to say tightly contested, but there is a 14-point deficit in it in the way of York Lancaster. 33 York, 19 here at the end of the first half.
And so far, I feel like York have had the better individuals, but Lancaster really managed to work together as that team unit. They've been working together. I think their point distribution is a lot better. York having a few individual players putting the team on their back, whereas Lancaster, there's points everywhere, off the bench, obviously in the starting lineup, guards, forwards, centre, everyone just getting those points. And that's really, really important in a game like this, where it can be really, really tiring. So the moment you start relying on one person, well, they'll get tired and you can't rely on them forever.
Absolutely. Something I did want to bring up was, as we said, the team play from Lancaster. The reason that they are so far ahead is some of those screening plays. I wanted to highlight number 17. Not sure what number 17 for Lancaster's name is, but he's been playing some really good screen plays. He's been giving the ball away and then running his man to the other side of the pitch, which leaves it open three-point opportunity. And I think Lancaster have just been better at that than York. York, sure, they've got the drive. They've got Arciaga, who's got a lot of points on board so far. He's been driving through. He's been winning the fouls, winning the free throws, or getting the layups, and then obviously the three that was, well, it took everyone aback, I think. The Lancaster crowd was silenced. And then once again enthralled after a three of their own.
Yeah, he certainly has. He certainly has. But we mustn't forget Ryan's really, really good start to the quarter. In the first quarter. However, he hasn't been able to find his feet again yet, but there's still time. We still got a half to play. And as I'm sure you'll know this from football, Matty, but if they can do that in one half, we can do it in the other. That's the common saying.
That's exactly how it should be. And yeah, with Ryan Akoma, he's playing a lot wider, I thought, in the second quarter than the first. I thought instead of, because they were trying to get him up for the layups, the rebounds, and the jump shots from the back, they just rarely. They're now sort of focusing him on that left-hand side. He's driving down, trying to open up the space, almost in an attempt at screen, but it just wasn't working out for them. Maybe we can see in the second half that Ryan tries to find a different position for himself. The team works him into a different way where he can have different shots. It's quite entertaining to watch, actually, at half-time. All the teams are warming up, and the sheer volume of basketballs being thrown at hoops.
Yeah, we've got just a few of the men's first team out here playing, and I think the women's first team as well. A few of them playing out. Obviously lost yesterday, but it's good to see that they haven't put the ball down, and they're still going at it. They have been sent into retirement.
Yes, exactly. That mentality of the Roses results doesn't appear to be getting into the heads of anybody here. Everybody is still pushing for what they can. Just to remind you, the points required to win were 172.5. Lancaster reached that total last night after the netball, followed it up with the darts. They are on 179.5 points. York, 103.5. So, unfortunately for us York commentators, with no bias whatsoever, Roses are red, which is something I never thought I'd say, ever.
Oh, well. Oh, well.
Oh, well.
There's next year.
There's always next year.
Home advantage.
Yes, I was going to say something I have been really impressed by, other than the Lancaster campus, was the branding that they put in. We're sat here on the basketball. For those of you listening on the radio, we're sat here in the Hall 2, which is Sports Hall 2, which is right at the back of the Sports Hall. We've got the basketball court in front of us. And all around it, we have banners that say Lusu and Roses are red. There are banners around those banners that say Roses are red. And behind the chairs, there's more that say Roses are red. It's printed on the floor saying Roses are red. The little barricade that sat in front of my commentary box says Roses are red. I have to say, well played to Lancaster on the branding.
They've done really, really well. The whole event's been really, really nice, and it's a great way to start the last day here with the men's second basketball. And may I remind you of the score is 33 to Lancaster and 19 to York here at halftime. The York boys here, rather than choosing a sort of team talk, they're just finding their shot again, I think. And it's so important sometimes. You know, you play all game and you won't be able to get a shot just because, you know, how the game goes, being able to find your feet, being able to get shots up. So it's so important just getting back, getting the ball in your hands, having a feel for where that basket is.
Absolutely, and noticing the angle that they're practicing from, it's just inside the D. From those wide angles, they're looking for the long shots, it seems, which might highlight something they'd look to do in the second half of this game.
I'm really, really keen to see York's approach coming into the second half. Obviously trailing by 14 points, so they're going to need to do something. They're going to need to change something. And that's often where we see the best basketball played from basketball teams. You know, when they're behind, seeing what have you got now? You know, what are you going to do? You've had a chance now to assess the team, the opposition team. You know what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, because, you know, at the end of the day, you've got 19 points. This is still very much salvageable. You know, if you've got 19 points, you can get 19 more. You found a way to get 19, just go out, do the same thing again, I guess.
Exactly. There's 19 points on the board for York, but they're still trailing by 14. It's been, contrary to what the score says, York have shown the attacking pressure, especially with Artiago, who had a brilliant half, I have to say. Is using his, I was going to say he's using his height, but not in the way you might expect.
Oh, no, yeah. But
it's
really, really good to see. It's really, really good to see. I mean, and he's a great ball handler as well. He really, really knows how to bring the ball up the court. The full court press was deployed by Lancaster at the start, forced 1 or 2 turnovers from him, but since then he's been flawless in terms of bringing the ball up. Unfortunately, they just haven't been able to get those shots off and haven't been able to get those points on the board. Lancaster here giving a really, really intense-looking team talk. York's approach a little bit more casual. Maybe they already know their plan. Maybe they know what to do.
Something I'm thinking that York might be considering is how they can use those runs from Artiaga to their advantage, as opposed to either winning the foul or getting the layup. There's more options than that. You could use him as a screening run. You could use him to drive into the middle and pass out to the side, which opens up all the space behind him. There's lots of different ways that you can look at this from a York perspective.
Exactly.
But you've got to remember this Lancaster defence has been so on point so far. Although I think the shot clock does reset, doesn't it? Not shot clock, the foul clock.
Team fouls will reset.
They'll
going
reset.
into the second half of the game here.
Lancaster finished the half on 5 fouls, and that's one of the sources of points for York. Was those free throws? Artiaga, when he's been winning, he's been winning a lot of fouls and taking a lot of free throws, and he seems to be quite consistent with those. As the players come back out onto the court to start the second half of the men's seconds basketball.
If I were the York team here, which I'm not, but if I were, I'd tell number 29. I saw him in warm-up knocking down a few shots from actually quite far out of the arc. He's a very good three-point shooter. He's got a three-point shooter. He's got a good shot on him. So I'd just be telling him, don't stay inside, spread out, and that'll draw the Lancaster big man out of the paint and open up inside space inside for Artiaga, for Ryan to get those drives. And the ball goes out of bounds there from Ryan, forcing the turnover.
Yeah, you could see a slight insight into what York might have planned to get some points on the board. That was Artiaga out wide to Ryan. And Lancaster appears to be doing a similar thing now, but they're driving through. 27 doesn't draw the foul.
Really nice defense there from York, forcing the turnover. Slows it down, allowed their players to get forward. Artiaga with the drive and the foul again. And that is exactly what we talked about during halftime. Getting that pump fake and the drive, allowing Artiaga just to go inside and draw his foul.
It's been absolutely key, and he now gets a chance to capitalise on his foul with another 2 from the line.
He's been okay from the line, shooting around 60%, I believe, so far.
Something along those lines, absolutely. And make that one more free throw netted. York breaking the 20-point barrier here at the start of the second half. Second free throw.
But the air, which means, as I said before, you know, if the ball does not hit the rim on the free throw, it is Lancaster's ball from the sideline. And that is to stop players just throwing up for an alley-oop from the free throw.
Lancaster now onto the attack. Good screening from Ryan, but
and it feels like
drawing the foul.
It feels like Ryan has got a really, really tough matchup on the defensive end. But it's a good strip. And on the fast break here, York, it's 3 versus 2.
Artiaga's free,
inside,
they look for him.
Artiaga, spin move, really nice movement, and it'll be a York ball from the baseline. So yeah, as I was saying before, Ryan on the defense's end, I think, is matching up with number 27. which if you can't see us here, as you're tuning into the radio, is certainly, they're certainly different sizes.
Yes, as one of the Lancaster players fell down in the defence, and it's number 13.
And a few MVP chants here from the crowd. It's really, really good to see.
He's being subbed off and clapped off after falling down in that defence. Referee's obviously making sure that everyone's okay, as York will now get a chance at attacking Ryan out to Arteaga. From that line that we saw them practicing from at half-time, and that's exactly why.
It's gone down as a three-pointer. It looked inside the arc to me, but
3 points is 3 points for York as Lancaster now. They want 3 of their own, but no, they're going to drive it in. It's going to be a foul from Zabane and free throws to Lancaster.
It should actually be on the floor rather than free throws.
Oh, would it?
As he wasn't in the motion of his shot.
Ah.
This will test my...
there you go. That's
yes,
what you were mentioning earlier.
This will test my refereeing knowledge. Should be from the side. Yep, here we go. So waiting for a Lancaster player to inbound the ball now.
No, you're absolutely right. He didn't get the motion of the shot off, and Lancaster's number 27 will now be taking the... what would you call it?
Satellite ball.
I was going to say a throw. This is free.
All really nice from number 7, getting the free drive there. And a foul. And Arteaga puts his hand up as that was his man. Managed to get the blow by, drive inside, and the foul drawn on number 29, who is, at the end of the day, there's not much he could do. It's help defense. You know, you might draw a foul as long as you're there.
Yeah, Arteaga's walked away, shaking his head a bit now, and you can see why it's a bit disappointing after such a strong drive. We saw those practice shots for York at the other end of the pitch coming up and net. But now it's Lancaster to get another on the boards with the first free throw. First and only free throw, I should say. And York are now going to have to face a 13-point deficit that they almost made up a bit for at the start of this half. Zabane. Back to Arteaga.
One thing that's really, really important, when Ryan was scoring at the start of the first quarter, they put number 7 onto him to try and slow him down. Now they've switched that number 7, who's obviously a very, very good defender, on to Arteaga. So a change in defensive tactic from Lancaster. Not paying off there, as the lead has now been cut to 11.
Sharman with a really nice little layup, works into the space, uses his height, gets the 2 points. Lancaster now on the counter-attack.
And this is a totally feasible task from York.
Absolutely, 11 points, but that could be less now. Arteaga finds Sharman. Sharman almost slips, gets the layup. Was a touch? No, he wasn't, say the referees.
Unlucky there. I believe it could have been a shooting foul, but... oh! Really, really nice defensive play there from number 4, Arteaga. Stopping that easy layup going through.
And he's going to have a go at 3 for now, but...
just wide. But you have to keep shooting. You really, really do. There's no point stopping. You have to keep shooting. And a 2-on-1 there on the fast break from Lancaster. It just feels like whatever York can do, Lancaster can do it more efficiently and more effectively so far.
You're right, better. Lancaster have looked the better team on top. Obviously, the drives from York have been really quite strong, but they have been able to capitalise on the shooting. Now here's Ryan, driving inside, take it himself.
Unlucky there.
Finds at the rim.
It's good defense from Lancaster, stopping Ryan get that easy pull-up jumper shot.
York's defense is very zoned at the moment.
And the crowd really pulling through here in their numbers.
You wouldn't expect this many people to be up this early on a Sunday morning after Roses.
It's commitment, and that's what the men's second basketball does for people. It really gets them up and out of bed in the morning.
Lancaster extending their lead there with another 2 from a layup.
Arteaga here, calling a play. Obviously something... there we go. 29. Shooting that shot that I discussed before. Good offensive rebounds. Cuts back. 17. Good aims to drive, but unlucky there with the turnover. And a fast break here. Well, you wouldn't want to get in the way of that, but just about.
Absolutely not. He was barreling down the pitch at great speed.
Ryan here. Looks to pull up. Loses his dribble. Back to Arteaga. A screen. 17. Calling a play. Wants a screen. Rejects it. And again, he's lost the ball there, number 17. It's really, really unlucky. Lancaster with some great defensive play. And the foul on the fast break. And this game is slowly falling out of York's control. They need to do something, and they need to do something quick. And that is why calling subs. Not a timeout? I was expecting a timeout.
Halfway through the third quarter, and Lancaster increased their lead to 17. could very easily be 18 from this free throw from number 16. And it is 18. 43 points to Lancaster, 25 points to York. Here, 3/4 of the way through the match.
Really, really surprised there that York haven't called a timeout. It feels like there's been such a swing in Lancaster's direction. 17 here. He's not put off by turnovers. He comes up with the ball. Hesitation. Butterfingers call here from the crowd. Really, really trying to put the York players off. And it's an and one play here. Well, a potential and one play here from York. 29 puts the ball up and gets fouled on his shot. A really, really nice offensive rebound from him as well.
Good points from Welburn. One of the taller players on the York side now gets a shot at a free throw as well. But it was a good, solid drive. Good passing out, I believe, from Bokus. No, it wasn't Bokus. It was Sharman.
And he can't convert.
He can't convert it. And now, aforementioned number 27 for Lancaster gives it to 16. 9 now. On the edge of the box. Number 7, calling a play, trying to be the director in the movie that is Lancaster's attack.
That's a nice line.
I'm quite good at those.
Yeah.
I come up with the quips on the fly.
It's poetry.
Clock's been stopped.
Substitutions here from Lancaster. Something like their number 9, who's been really, really effective. He's been all over the York guards on their full court press and also chipped in with a few buckets from himself. Number 15, hopefully aiming to step into his place.
Got to get the shoes. Got to get the Jordans. Can he fill his? Can he fill his Jordans?
Can he fill his Jordans or his LeBrons? Let's not be biased.
Or his LeBrons.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah.
We're on radio. We
Or
have
his
to be impartial.
carries. And just wide from the free throws. Hustle from both teams. Kicks out here to number 15. Number 7. He's great on defense, but let's see what he has on offense. Pulls up for the free. Just missed it there. Number 29 is really, really pulling in a lot of rebounds for York.
York have got away with one there, I think. No, number 7 was in acres of space, and he was calling out the plays.
And once again, Hustle.
That's a big scramble.
Call a jump ball. Jump ball. Jump ball there called from the referee, which means it will go Lancaster's way.
York up to 4 fouls halfway through the quarter. As you say, foul difficulty might be ahead for York. They could be in trouble here. What I was saying on that play earlier was number 7 was in so much space because the York players was only marking, and he was calling out the play, and then he said, well, why not? I'll give it a go myself then if no one's going to tackle me.
Yeah. And
Here he is again.
If you don't shoot those open shots in basketball, you'll just simply be disrespected from the opposition team. They'll give you acres of space, and you won't be able to score in any possible way. Ooh, unlucky there from Lancaster. Fast break here. Dishes,
rebound,
and York really, really don't have a plan. The moment they get the ball in their hands, it really feels like they don't have much to do. And I think the call is on a push from number
62, I believe.
62. A push from number 62, and that's a baseline ball as he was not in his shooting motion. That was the decision deemed by the referees here, who've governed this game very well so far, demanding respect. I think some good calls. And a really, really nice conversion there from number 16, Lancaster.
Good show of respect for the officials and the players as well.
Oh, yeah. No, the officials, I think at least one of them was refereeing the men's game yesterday. They've both done really, really well. Basketball is such a contentious sport sometimes. Calls can be subjective, and he goes up. Oh, almost.
There's a bit of showboating almost. Yeah. The no-looker.
I was thinking if he was going to dunk that yesterday. We saw 2 dunks yesterday in the men's first team, which were very, very exciting. They certainly get the crowd off their feet. Good cut here. And it looked like a foul, but straight back into Zera's hand.
Good recovery.
Picks it up. 29, open shot. Nothing but the back of the rim, sorry. 7 brings the ball up. 3 minutes, 20 seconds here to play of the third quarter. Don't forget, we still have another quarter to see after this. And I think York need to close the gap by the end of this quarter. Otherwise, the game is simply out of reach. A 20-point lead in one quarter is, ooh, you know,
It's doable.
It's doable.
But then again, yeah, York put up 19 points in the first 2 quarters combined as an ambitious shot from number 16 for Lancaster. Will just hit the rim. But it's not a unfeasible task, but it will be a long uphill road for York if they can't get some points on the board here.
And we mustn't forget, it's not only your offense that you have to fix, it's your defense as well, because there's no point scoring however many, 20 points, if the opposition can just go and stick 20 more on you. Turnover here, once again, that's what they need to fix really. The turnovers on the offensive end. Went for the reverse layup. Kicks back out. 16. Drives very, very nicely here.
Smooth. He avoided a push as well at the same time from one of the York players, which was really good darting. He may have got. I don't think he would have got the foul, but he did find the layup instead, and another 2 points to Lancaster, extending their lead to 22.
York desperately need to get their starting lineup out now, because if they don't do something about this league quickly, the game is surely out of reach.
It's looking slightly out of reach for now already. Lancaster looking to break the 50-point mark, 27.
Oh, nice turn, and draws the foul there. The York players complaining it was all ball. The York players do look quite tired here going into the last 1 minute 45 of this quarter.
That was Yallen committing the foul, and it's giving an opportunity for Lancaster.
And here we go. Oh, no, not timeout. Again, subs. I keep expecting
more substitutions, and it's going to be Ryan Akome. He's had a decent game so far. And the man who committed the foul, Yallen, who are going to be replaced back by Kenny Mibwa for York, going back, and Fong into the two of the players who started the game.
Did Fang start, madam?
Oh, no, Fong didn't start.
No,
Fong came on in the second half.
Yeah, we haven't seen much from Fang so far, so I'm hoping he can go out there and show those Lancaster boys what he's made of. I've seen him train a few times. He's got a really, really nice mid-range shot, so hopefully he can get that out. I mean, it's not only about making a shot, it's about finding a shot at the end of the day. There's no point having a really, really good shot if you never have that space, and you never have sort of the passes from your teammates to make them. And once again, a turnover, number 7 in transition, and that's probably a 99% conversion right there from number 7. Easy layup.
He's MVP for me so far from Lancaster. He's had an absolute belter of a game, and he's taken Lancaster to their half century. Bats raised. Helmet remains on, though. Haven't broken 100.
Just wide there from one of the York boys once again. Yeah, I think number 7's work on the defensive end has to be merited. Obviously on the losing team, I think Arteaga's been really, really good so far. However, if I was to pick an MVP from the York team, it'll be number 27 as he scores his and one basket. Really, really nice work inside. For me, it has to be number 27 for my MVP of the game so far. I think he's just absolutely changed the game with his size and his speed.
Definitely.
When he gets up to that sort of 5th gear, he really, really can look quite scary.
I was going to say, I would not want to be in the way of that. That was an incredible unit of a basketball player. Now gets a chance at a free throw as well. But he has been incredibly strong for Lancaster so far, as he perfectly nets once again.
And a few jeers and cheers from the Lancaster player.
Oh. And a strongly worded caution from the referee to one of the Lancaster players, number 27, who has been warned that if he continues yelling again, he'll get a technical.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those, it's kind of up to the referee and how they deem behavior, because, you know, a celebration's a celebration, but if it's deemed to be taking it too far, then, I mean, that's the call that they make. That was a really, really nice dish there from Fang. Really, really nice assist. Good to see him getting some numbers on the board. And the ball was deemed to go out of bounds there, so it'll be a Lancaster ball from the baseline. 29 to York and 54 to Lancaster with 28 seconds to play of this 3rd quarter. Don't forget, we do have another quarter coming up after this. Another whole 10 minutes to play, so...
Stick around, don't change that dial.
Yeah.
Don't touch the remote. As that's a great drive from Seven. Can't quite find the net this time. It's going to be picked up by Sharman. Out for York. Lancaster scrambling back in defence. That drive there, but it's left a shot open for 24.
Oh, unlucky.
Can't quite make the 3 poachers.
But it's promising from York getting an open shot off.
It is. That's something we haven't necessarily seen in this third quarter, which has been
3,
incredibly Lancaster dominated.
2, 1, you spot up a shot. You have to put up a shot earlier there when the shot clock is going down. Just get your shot up. You know, the moment I see 3 seconds on that shot clock, don't bother dishing it around anymore. Just get that shot up. And it is now our break going into the 4th quarter. What do you think of the game so far, Matty?
I didn't want to say it would be Lancaster domination, but so far, that third quarter, it's been all red. It's been all red. Hardly seen the ball up the red end of the pitch or in the hands of a York player. I think partly due to the substitutions that York brought on. They obviously brought on Yalin, who essentially came on, he committed a foul, and then he was off again. I think that shows how instrumental those starting lineups were. Kanya Mib were providing a great sense of control for York, a lot of height and Fong as well for York, and they substituted them both back on at the end of the quarter, showing a bit more positivity right at the end. But for that quarter, I think that Lancaster dominated, which has been the sort of story of the day, but not necessarily of the whole match. Because in that second quarter, obviously, we had lots of drives from Artiaga from York. And I think it's been really, I wouldn't say a game of 2 halves. It's been a game of 3 different quarters so far. Because obviously the first quarter, Lancaster dominated, the second, York, and the third, it's back to a red wall. The defence from Lancaster, once again, very strong, and that counter-attack is almost infamous at this point in the game. I think that's where they're winning most of their points so far, is straight from the counter, York not getting back quick enough. They need to leave one of their players back. So what Lancaster are doing is where they have that one player, the centre, controlling. That centre is straight back onto defence as soon as the ball's given away. And York haven't really capitalised on that in their own defensive capacity.
I think it's just all about roles and responsibilities for York. You know, knowing, I'm sure they're all willing to and all have the drive to get back, but it's knowing, okay, we've lost the ball. Who's going to be pressuring that ball straight away, trying to force a quick turnover the moment the ball handler gets on the ball for Lancaster, and who's going to be straight back, making sure they can't get that fast break, that outlet pass. You know, you have to have this knowledge of what who's doing what. And another few points here from Kai. They're calling out the numbers here from York. That's good to see. A lot more intensity on the defensive end. The moment they get that ball, you want to be calling out, who's yours? Who have you got? Nice blow by there from number 16 for Lancaster.
Kenny Mibble couldn't quite make it there. Left his man a little too late, and he got past. But now it's York looking for a counter-attack.
Nice
Here comes
pass.
Ryan. Looking
drive.
for a layup. Solid defence from Lancaster's 14.
And a foul there on number 34. Really good drive. That small hesitation in the key really allowed him just to drive, head down, get into the paint. And it's so disheartening from York just to sort of finally get that bucket that you've been working so hard towards, and then just see Lancaster go and do it the other way.
Exactly. It's been already within the first 30 seconds, 36 seconds even of this half. York have shown a lot more drive and determination as they put up another point with a free throw. It seems as though they're they've brought themselves back in. They've got that determination. And last quarter, a sort of second wind, if you will. As the first free throw will go, and the second is not.
The moment Lancaster get the ball, York needs to call out numbers and get on their men. You already need to be matched up. And there they are, matching up and forcing the turnover. Really nice play there from Kai. You know, that's exactly what you need to do.
It's a sort of solid defence that we haven't really seen from York so far. Lancaster's defence, obviously, it's played a crucial part in the fact that they're winning so far.
And Ryan,
but there we go. It's
back
open
on the
for number 9, and that's going to be a layup for Lancaster. They just, it's like an unstoppable force and an immovable object from Lancaster.
York spacing the floor nicely. Good footwork from number 34, drives inside. Really nice footwork there. Obviously, as long as you keep that pivot foot down, you can in theory move your other foot as much as you want.
He's found himself free, reduces it to a 24-point deficit. Lancaster win the rebounds, and deep inside of York's half. 3-point attempt. It's going to bounce off the rim.
Good
that
defensive rebound.
Now Straight back up the other end, Canyon Midwell. This sort of second win from both teams now cooking. It's very back and end. It's very back and forth, end to end on the court so far. 3-point attempt coming out.
Good defensive rebound there from Kai.
Yeah, Kai with a strong bit of defense. Kai back in the sides. He's been subbed on in the final quarter. And looking to drive now is Sharman. Holding the ball up inside of the Lancaster D here on the far side of the court from where we are sitting. Kenny Midwa, he's going to find Ryan. Looks for three.
Nothing but air here. He really needs to find a rhythm again if York are going to stand any chance here. But as we go on, it's looking quite unlikely. And York are deciding to deploy a full court press. But that doesn't work unless your full team is committed, and they simply weren't there, York. The offensive rebound. And see, they called the full court press, but suddenly they turned around and a few teams. Oh, and it's falling apart.
That's a poor.
They missed the open layup.
That was really poor. The York had it all in their control, and it was just taken away from number 10 from Lancaster. Really good, strong pressing play, and nearly another two to Lancaster to make a sad day for York. It's even sadder. Okoye. Oh, Okoye. He used to play for Watford. Okome. Ryan Okome. Not sure why I went into football commentator, but here he is, Ryan, looking for a 2-point. No, he can't find it.
Yeah, I think York came out with some sort of intensity, but it just didn't feel like all the players on the court were prepared to go chase the game and play defense. Because at the end of the day, I think it's the defense that won this game for Lancaster. Really, really good, forcing plenty of turnovers, and that's why Yorks really haven't managed to get too many points on the board. No. Kai with a nice fake.
Lovely fake,
Looked like a foul there, but the referees don't call it. Number 9 inside, and there is the foul.
Yeah, he's just reaching in too much. Pocius is I still don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm going to have to ask him. Well, I'm going to call him Pocius for now. Pocius has just reached a little too far with his defense, slapping the arm and not the ball.
And takes the substitution here, as does number 14 in for number 29, who really, really did help out on those offensive and defensive rebounds for York. So hopefully, a few more offensive, defensive rebounds. I think if I was on the coaching team, I'd just be saying, you know what, guys, end this team within 15 points of Lancaster, and we'll call it a win within ourselves. That's sort of what you have to do. You have to set those targets that are realistic to sort of keep you in the game, because there's no point just getting completely blown out. And the first free throw here is made from number 9, looking to convert his second now to make it 62-34 if he makes his free throw.
27-point lead now, and in the first quarter, as the second free throw goes in. In the first quarter, I've just noticed number 0 has come back on, Aji Dagba. We haven't seen a lot of him this game, but he was instrumental in the first quarter. Maybe one of those players that's better in short bursts, but there he was driving down the line. Looking to make an impact for York here. Towards the end of the match, 6:20 on the clock in the fourth quarter, as a timeout is called.
And Lancaster Camp, certainly the happiest of the two so far. York just desperately needs some sort of team talk. I mean, I must say, Matty, it's possible. I think if it's more than a 20-point lead going into 5 minutes, then I think that's where York really, really can't come back.
It's a 28-point lead. If York want to bring this back,
I think they need 8 points in a minute 20.
They need a lot of drive.
Which is fine.
They need a lot of determination and a new tactic. Essentially, it's been Lancaster seem ready back from their timeout a little bit early, but York they're going to need a different tactic. They're going to need to try something, whether that be screening or even getting Arteaga to go back into what he was doing with driving and then winning the fouls on the layup. It's something needs to change.
Yeah, and it's not Lancaster's starting lineup. Obviously missing a few key players, such as their number 27, number 9 as well, noticeable absences from the lineup going into what remains of this fourth quarter. So, you know, if York were going to try and chase it now, chase it when the bench is on the court. And there we go.
Great
really nice from York
there from Ajidagba, imposing himself after being substituted on.
See, but this is the issue. Possible fast break there, and we're already back with Lancaster fully in their defensive shape. It's really, really hard for York to get anything off, really. But they try. Ryan. Nice.
Oh, that was
a
good.
really, really nice shot. Goes down for 3 points. And again, they've gone out here with the full court press, which worked so well last time. And a Lancaster ball there, despite Ryan's complaints.
3 on the board from Ryan, though. And that was
Ooh.
another clean shot that we've seen. We've seen some great shots come out this morning. I keep wanting to say this afternoon, but I realize it is actually 10:15 here. I've been absolutely riveted. It has been end to end. Slightly more in one end than the other, I must say.
An 8-second call here from the referee. So in case you didn't know, the Lancaster, or I say the offensive team, have 8 seconds to bring the ball over the halfway line from their inbound. So that's really, really nice defense from York there, forcing that. It's quite a rare call, and it means you've just been playing great defense.
And another little layup there from Kai Foster-Wilson. And
this fast break, this full court press is doing York wonders.
offensive mistake from Lancaster, not being able to get the layup off. I want to see what the call is here.
A few substitutions here from York, subbing Ryan out despite that really, really nice 3-point play. The hand is raised from the referee until the York player finishes to tie his laces, in case you couldn't see here if you're tuning into the radio.
Yep, Kai Foster-Wilson has also gone off for York. He's going to be replaced by Fong. And York, the pressure's been better.
So
obviously, their defense will now be tested, as the 2 points is not going to be there. It's offensive 1 rebound.
So I think the strategy from here, York going into the last dying moments of, well, I say dying moments of this game, there's still plenty to play, but the last moments of this game are keep substitutions going. At the end of the day, in basketball, you can have as many substitutions as you like. You can bring players in, out, whenever you want, and just keep the energy as high as they possibly can. 3-point shot here, just wide. But look,
Close.
York straight away on to their defense. They need to call out a man here. Everyone picks up everyone.
I was going to say,
everyone.
that's Artiago, normally an attacking player, currently on a straight man press to stop the ball from getting up. That was a contact from 17. It hasn't been called by the refs. And that one will be.
And 2 shots there at the line for Lancaster. So, yeah, as I mentioned before, I think York will just keep rolling subs on and off, keep that defense as high intensity as possible. I think that's the only way they are going to manage to get back into this game. 2 3 throws here from number 18, who I think this is his first trip to the 3-throw line. Possibly?
I think it might be,
I think it might be, so we'll have to see.
I don't recognise him having taken one earlier, but we'll see how he does. First one is wide, just clipping the rim. And a bit of the backboard too, let's give him credit.
And it's so important to have a ritual going into these free throws, you know, trigger that muscle memory. 2 bounces and then straight, ooh.
He's gone for 3.
He's gone for 3 now, maybe he did
Rolls it into his left hand,
wrong.
throws it up.
And
off the rim.
pretty
and
much
York
the
will
exact
win the
same
rebound,
place.
but
It's unlucky there from York. Bounces off the York man and straight out of bounds, meaning it'll be a Lancaster ball. They get a second attempt at their offensive possession. York here keeping it really, really high intensity defense. And once again, it'll be a Lancaster ball, tip from York. And see what I mean? York already making the sub. They're keeping it rolling, keeping it fresh as they possibly can. Just keep that defensive pressure up.
That was a really good observation with the substitutions, because obviously York, when you get substitution, stops the clock as well. Gives them a moment to reset, rethink, shake up Lancaster a bit. And that's something that Lancaster, should we see how will they deal with it? 24, lovely possession from Lancaster. Can't quite find the shot. Rebound isn't in. Lancaster still holding possession in the York half. 15 driving through. Layup won't be found. An underarm layup. Now it's Artiaga looking to drive forward for York. He's got 1 on 3 at the moment, but the York players will soon join him. 24, focus, has got a bit of space.
Corner's free for the kick. 29 here. 17 drives inside.
Artiaga pushing forward.
And an offensive foul, I believe. Oh, no. It's 2 shots at the line for Artiaga, I believe. So the ref has deemed that to be a foul on the shot.
Another chance for York to get within a reasonable lead. Currently, I'm trying to do maths now. My maths is reinforced. It's a 23-point deficit, which is better than it was at the start of the quarter.
It's better than it was. I think I said if by 5 minutes they haven't caved it to 20, then they're in trouble. And we're looking at 4 minutes and 4 seconds left of the game, and they're on 23. So by my calculations, I don't think York will come back. But they've come out with such good intensity, so it'll be such a shame if they can't at least put up some sort of fight. But both free throws missing here from Arteaga, and that's really, really disappointing because you feel like if those two go in, maybe a bit of momentum builds. But it's so good to see York come out with such, despite being so far behind, to come out with such good defensive effort. Really, really nice spin move there from, I believe, number 16, going inside, and I think that might be, in a way, the dagger for York.
A nail in the coffin.
Yeah, they hadn't scored for a while, Lancaster, but now they've just put one up, and Fang going inside, looking for his first basket. Does really, really nicely there, Fang.
Excellent little layup from a tricky angle there, actually, as Lancaster now look for the counter-attack.
He had a few assists before, but that was a really, really nice bucket.
How's this York defense looking? It's looking strong.
Possibly. Three-pointer, just wide. They need to push it now.
I've been looking for an opportunity to say green bean again. Arteaga now is going to be well shielded.
And a few laughs there from the Lancaster crowd. Unlucky for Arteaga, he has put up a lot of points. And a timeout here for York.
Was it York who called the timeout?
It could have been either.
I didn't actually see it. I missed it called as well, but there was a timeout either way. A lot more intensity coming out from York. A lot stronger. I think that York have been, the drive, the dedication has been there, despite the fact that they're still 25 points down at this point in time.
23 points down. But
23, I can't count. It's too early on a Sunday morning for counting.
One thing I must point out, I remember a minute ago, at 4 minutes and 4 seconds left, I said it's okay, it's 23-point lead. York need to go from here. A minute down, it's still a 23-point lead. See, even though that York momentum builds, Lancaster is still getting those points through. So it's so disheartening from a York point of view just to, do so well on the defensive end, force turnovers, get a few really nice baskets. But then if you can't stop Lancaster from scoring, then you really, really are fighting a losing battle. But
something that we spoke about a lot in the first half was the counter-attack from Lancaster, and that's been integral in building their lead for today.
It certainly has.
I've noticed that towards the end of this, in this quarter in particular, it's been really strong defense from York to counter the counter. And they're getting back. They're leaving the player behind. The center's getting back. The guards are getting back. It's looking decent on the York defensive side, but it just hasn't been enough sometimes. It
certainly is. And York are deploying... it's York baseline ball, my apologies. A York baseline ball. So they need to run a play here. They'll have something in mind. Dish that out to Kai. Inside. Needs to watch his feet, and that is a travel call. So yeah, the moment he plants that last foot, the travel is deemed as that is his third step.
Welburn shaking his head. He's a bit disappointed that he couldn't get anything off there.
Welburn is the captain of this York 2's team, or there may be a co-captain, but I think he must be one of them.
Great drive from Lancaster, number 9, into the York D. Won't find much. Or find the wall of Zabade. Strong on the defense. 7 looking to pass it out. 9 now on the edge of the D. Shoots for 3. Won't find it. Rebound goes Lancaster's way, but they can't find that either. That looks like a bit of a push onto Fong, but Fong keeps the ball for York, drives forward. It doesn't phase him. Now it's Kai Foster-Wilson back on the field. Welburn looking for 2. Can't find it from quite a way out inside of the D. Number 7 for Lancaster. Lovely little spin there. And that was strong work from, I think we're fair to say, Lancaster's MVP so far today, 27. What a player. What a player.
He's been really, really well. He's done really, really well. And good guarding there, and the ball into the hands of number 27. Yeah, he's just played really, really well. He's been a monster on both ends of the court here today. And the referee...
I think he called a technical.
A technical foul here.
He's got a technical for taunting on number 9, I believe. Or was it on... oh, no, I think at a timeout. Never mind. No. It was, I saw a bit of taunting for number 9 there. Scores a little layup right on over the head of a York defender.
Well, the referee is having a word with number 16.
Yeah.
So it looked like possibly there could have been... I mean, if there is a technical foul, we'll know very, very quickly, as there will be a free throw routine. Well, there'll be uncontested free throws, so no rebounders present, but maybe a timeout and a technical has been called.
Not entirely sure. One of the things I'm confident in the rules of basketball is that timeouts and technical foul have extraordinarily similar hand signals. So when you're as far away as we are, it's very difficult to realise which one is which.
I believe it could have been a technical because of the way he pointed after.
I'm just in awe of watching gentleman in the white shirt in the far corner.
Yes.
Who I just watched him string three pointers together from the most difficult angle I can imagine, just in a row.
He is, in fact, one of the York men's players who played yesterday.
I'm assuming he's a ones-team player.
Yes, he was a one-team player who unfortunately lost. He played very, very well himself there. And actually got a technical foul called him, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yes, yeah. I think
what for?
I think
voice break.
Yeah, I think he celebrated after one of his baskets taunted the opposition. Really, really good defense there from 9, but a bit of a push, not called.
Arteaga, it's classic, it's vintage, trying to weave his way through the defense.
Oh, really, really nice. Oh, and a charge. And there we go, that's basketball tradition there. The moment your player goes down for a charge, you have to help them up. And I think that tops off a really, really good morning, not night, morning. For number 27.
It was 27 who finds himself on the floor. It's a miracle. Well, give me a moment. Hang on. I'm trying to find a way to phrase this. Must have been a strong push.
Yes.
27 doesn't look like the guy to be laid out on the floor easily.
Oh, no.
And that was strong basket defense from York, who are now shielding the ball.
And I think it's just so important for York next game that they play is just, guys, the moment they get any sort of defensive rebound, they have to be straight down the court. And Arteaga has very much given up here. Number 9, not letting up, playing that full court press, and that brings Lancaster into 70 points.
Bringing up the big 70. If it were me, I'd go a treble 10 tops, but this is obviously a game of basketball. Minute left on the clock. Lancaster, 29 ahead.
And again, Arteaga just getting the turnover forced. A bit of lip exchange between him and number 9, but Arteaga takes the sub out, I think, just to cool him off a little bit. He's had a great game, and he's just been so unlucky that Lancaster played so well, I think.
He has had a great game, but he hasn't on it. It's been really difficult to get through this Lancaster defense, and he's done his absolute best. He hasn't received the best of sorts of support from his guards, his point guards, but he's doing it incredibly well, and I have to say,
and a foul.
A nice layup for York, actually, and 2 free throws there. But yeah, Arteaga's had a great game. He's really done his best, but I think the Lancaster defense has just been too strong, and he's probably just disappointed, probably a bit heated with himself that he hasn't been able to propel this York team as best as he feels he could. But he should rest easy knowing that he's had a great game.
And it'll be interesting to see here after these 3 throws from York, Lancaster's approach. So they'll have 44 seconds on the clock, which means that they can, well, in theory, they do need to shoot once more. Sometimes in basketball etiquette, they'll just sort of let the ball roll out. They won't really run a proper possession and let the shot clock run down. But we will have to see what happens. And a really, really nice a conversion there from the free throw. Into number 27, who plays it really, really well with the fake into the layup and giving away from the free throw there from Kai. Number 27 again. Oh.
19 on the rebound, will find it. 27, he just doesn't miss.
No.
I want to know how many points he's put up this game. He has had an incredible game. If you thought Arteaga's afternoon, it's not afternoon, it's the morning. If you thought Arteaga's morning was going well.
I think it's because they dim the lights in here, so it just feels like a bit later than it is.
It
Kai
does.
There, almost. Layup, nicer.
Nice reverse layup there from Sharman to put up another 2 for York.
Deficit and 15 seconds left, and they are going to
28.
walk the ball up the court here, which signifies the end of the game. The Lancaster bench it up. It's basketball etiquette here that this is it, really. The players shaking hands. The ball goes on the floor. And that is the game. It is Lancaster 74, York 43.
46.
46. To repeat that, that's Lancaster 74, York 46 at the end of the fourth quarter, which means it is the end of the game here.
It's been a good morning of basketball. I've done it again. Your Manchester is infectious. It's been a good morning of basketball here at Sports Hall 2 over in Lancaster. Coming at you live on University Radio York on 88.3 FM, on Bailrig FM on 95.3 FM, and on roseslive.org.uk or the Roses Live YouTube channel, if you feel so inclined. It's been it's good to see the sportsmanship here. All of the players now are shaking hands.
Yeah, a really, really good game from Lancaster. They just played such a good team game.
Some words exchanged actually at the end between 27 and Arteaga, our two sort of key players, one on each team. He's probably a little bitter or disappointed that he hasn't been able to.
And don't go anywhere, as we believe we'll be grabbing an interview with hopefully one of the Lancaster players, or maybe a York player. Let's see.
And this isn't what you want to see. The team sort of coming together. Arteaga getting quite heated with 27 at the end. 27's walked it off, played it cool. And it's just part of the sport. It's part of the sport, but it's well diffused, that situation. The team sort of seem to be coming together. 9 is still a little bit of taunting now that the game's over. Can't get a foul for it.
And I believe if you stay tuned, we should be going to our interview. Sure. We'll stand down here. Hello, we are here at the men's basketball second. The game has just finished. It was an unlucky loss for York. I'm joined by the York men's captain. Any first thoughts?
It was a well-fought game. They just managed to out-hustle us on both the offense and defensive rebounds. We did have a bit of a size disadvantage, but they certainly made best use of that. And our shots were falling, they were playing really well, so hats off to them.
Yeah, it felt like after that sort of break, I think it was around 6 minutes in the fourth quarter, you came out, you deployed a great full court press, and it felt like momentum was building.
Yeah.
What do you think meant that you couldn't quite fully push yourselves over the line?
I think, again, they were able to use their size a lot more effectively than we were, and I think morale was the main thing. We were trying to come back from, I'm not sure what the deficit was at that point, but
23-point lead, so yeah, it was
a hard ask, and it seemed like we were trying to make a comeback, but then we faltered, and in a game like that, that's all it takes, just not being able to get the win.
Me and Matty, the other commentator, were trying to pick our MVP for the game. We decided on number 27. Would you agree with that? Big guy on Lancaster. Yeah.
If not him, I'd say number 16. He was doing really well cleaning up the glass.
16 did really, really well. For us, it was number 27. I think
he played well. He was dominant.
Yeah. Any final thoughts?
I just want to shout out my girlfriend, who's probably watching. But yeah, that's about it.
Perfect. Thank you very much, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. Cool. Thank you so much. Thank you.